And we're back with our 6th session in the year 501 Pendragon Salisbury Anarchy. Tonight we're going to see our group as they exit the north. One by the west and one by the south. Or sorry, one by the west and 2 by the east is what I meant to say. Let's go ahead and do some introductions and we can dive into where we left off. We'll start with you on the left, Thomas.
Hello, my name is Thomas, and I will be playing, Sir Edrich of Winterbourne, Stoke, and Marshal of Salisbury. He has scores to settle.
Yeah, that's fair. But right now he's Sir Eveldrick, so we'll see how that goes.
Thomas's audio.
That's true. He is Sir Eveldrick. Currently, he is not quite Sir Edrich, but he's gonna act like he is, which he's really good at.
Yeah. They're like, who? They're like, yeah, the evil. You're like, oh no, it's just the normal one.
Exactly. That's how Edrich normally acts, just a little bit more.
That's exactly what an imposter would say. Okay. We'll go to Mark next.
Hello, I am Mark, aka the Cat's Meow, and today I will be playing Sir Florence of Idmiston and the Baron of the Axe. Loyal knight of the King of Cornwall, King Idris, and here to maybe find out who his real mother is. We'll figure out what's going on there.
Indeed so. Alright. Who's your mother? Right. Let's dive in. Let's do a roll off because this is Florence and Perin that are both have kind of arcs here. We'll get each of you to roll a d6. I also want to say that I punched Thomas before this match. I apologize. So he was really getting on my nerves.
He had it coming. You should have heard him mouthing off. Yeah.
Punching all the way from Canada to Australia is fucking impressive. I was out of line.
It was
Trust
the old
me, no
Gumu Gumu no.
problems.
Yeah. So Mark, D6, good sir.
Oh, D6.
God damn you guys. Alright, roll again, both of you.
Alright. 4. Leo, please roll a 4. It'd be the funniest thing, but...
Okay, roll of 3.
Alright.
Let's do it.
Go again!
The first 45 minutes was the roll off, and then we got to the game. Alright,
If it happens one more time, I think legally he has to give you the Holy Grail.
I'm just choosing the right number at that point.
Do we win Pendragon at that point?
Okay. Alright, so we are in Malahut at the moment. And I'm gonna do... No, we're gonna stay in this big screen. No, we're not. We're gonna go visit the map. Let the audience see the map. So Florence and Edrich have gone south through the mountain pass, past Cerdic, and are now arriving in the lands surrounding Aburicum. I will get another d6 from you, Mark, that's unrelated to your last 3 d6.
Alright. It's another 3.
That's okay. Alright, so you...
It's my lucky number, you know.
Alright. The two of you ride in on Iona Manor after asking around for it. This is the manor where Florence's apparent long-lost mother that he never knew he had lost seems to be the lady of. So, how do you guys want to approach this? Maybe we'll zoom in just before you get there.
I think so. Okay. Mostly Sir Florence is just kind of pensive as he makes his way over to the manor, kind of gripping the reins of his horse a little tighter than he would normally. Edrich would probably notice this as they're riding together.
Edric's eyes do flick from the clenched knuckles of Florence to his pensive face, and he'll tilt his head, but otherwise he'll say, "Considering that we slew the majority of those who were likely to set an ambush for us on the way, this is likely to be a mystery, but one that we can fight our way through, particularly with the retinue that we both have. I imagine diplomacy will be the best way forward."
Yes, I would assume that would be a good idea. Still, something about this situation that just has me uneased.
It's a peculiar story to begin with, and an odd trail to leave a knight, let alone a son. And to be told that your mother is not your mother, true or no, is a shocking thing.
Yes. Yes, it is. Well,
Regardless.
just hope this situation can be sorted.
Indeed.
We'll be able to go up on our way.
We'll figure out what she wants from you, and what she stands to gain from claiming thus.
Well then, onwards we go.
Indeed.
Okay. As you arrive in, it looks like your standard manor, except for it's kind of fallen on harder times. Clear that they don't have a lot of money. You see old signs of sieging, probably from maybe 5 years ago or so. Lines pretty well with the time that the once late Eosa and Octa ruled these lands and raided and pillaged these lands. They were probably at one point put into ruin from that.
Beheading him.
Yeah. Nevertheless, as you ride in, you're welcomed by the servants of the manor, and you're ushered inside. Should you wish to go?
Yeah.
They declare the head of the manor is Lady Lucia, the one who called for you.
I'll let you take the lead on this. That said, if anything does come up and you need the weight of Salisbury behind you, within reason, do let me know.
Yes, well, hopefully it doesn't come to that. I don't intend to stay long. We shall have to see. But he would make his way inside into whatever room he is guided to.
Okay. You make your way to the inside, and after a bit of a while, as the two of you are kind of welcomed into what looks like a very, very small feast hall, you hear the sound of clicking on stone, and a older lady with a walking device of some sort, perhaps a cane, comes walking on in. She looks to the two of you. She looks right at Florence and says, You must be Sir Florence. Those lovely golden
Indeed.
locks they speak of.
Indeed I am, my lady.
I presume you got my message then.
Indeed I did. I'd received it while I was up in the Kingdom of Gaul. It did come as quite a surprise.
Indeed. Please, might I offer you some fritters? And to check. Yeah.
Don't eat anything, man.
Thank you for your hospitality. And Florence does eat what he's offered.
Okay. And there's wine as well.
Out of politeness.
She'll sit down kind of across from you slowly. She's kind of very slow with her movements as she makes her way over and seats herself. It's very clear that
This creature has no survival instinct.
age has caught up to her. You know, Florence has survived a great many lack of common sense scenarios, including trying to bone the sister of King Hura and ending up face to face with Octa without a weapon, not even a dagger in his hand. That could have gone so much worse if you think about him having to wrestle Octa. Like, the fact he pulled that off is
not as strong as Octa.
No.
Not even close.
And no weapon on you. Anyways.
I think there's a moment when the food is offered and Edrich holds up a hand as if to politely decline, and then he sees that Florence has already gone for eating it, so he, without saying anything, does lower his hand. He does not eat anything, but he's like, we've made our bed.
Forgive me for the ruse that brought you here, but I thought it best to pique your curiosity.
Oh. To be honest, it sort of comes in relief.
She smiles. Yes. Well, given your father's reputation, I can understand why that might bring question.
Yes. Well, now I find myself left with more questions, interestingly enough. Such
Quite
as
so.
the reason for this ruse, as you say it.
Very well. I simply wish to gaze upon you and see if you were the man that they said you were. Sir Florence of Idmiston, Baron of the Axe. It seems you have done quite well for yourself in these years.
Yes, well, most of it, I dare say, is due to a mix of luck and faith. And I've been rewarded for the effort I put in.
Very much so. When I was younger, I had a choice. I could marry a man almost thrice my age and bear him children. He was someone with a bit of a reputation, someone cruel, they say. I prayed and said that I would find a way out of such a misery. And through prayer, I found myself into the vows of sisterhood. I was taken to London. And I spent 10 years very happy there. But the Saxons raided, and I was taken hostage. And I was sold up north. You see, Lucia is my Christian name. I was named a wife of one of these Saxons. And I bore him a daughter. But through counter raids, I was freed. And I fell in love with the knight responsible. He took me as his wife. And this is what remains of his manor. It might be hard to believe this, especially with the lie that brought you here. But I am your aunt, Sir Florence, sister of Morganor and Bledig, lady in need.
I don't know what to say.
I have some things to say, if you will permit me, the both of you.
Awareness tests, both of you.
Success.
Oh my gosh, even Florence succeeded in awareness. So
He did. He did.
Nice work, team.
Yeah, you hear several people approaching. Probably 3 or 4 sets of footsteps coming this way on the stone.
Company. But those questions can wait.
As this happened, Florence would stand, crossing the table and making her way over to her as he would hold out a hand to help her up.
She would stand.
As he does, he just kind of holds her hands for a moment as he looks her in the eyes, before slowly pulling her into a hug.
Sir Florence, you do not know this woman.
I know those eyes. They're my father's eyes.
She could have said the truth to get you here, and instead it was no matter. There are matters to attend to soon. They come. If we are not beating her to death, then we are taking her at her word.
Florence would turn around.
Edric's got his eyes on the door.
It's like he's like in the moment. He's like, wait, what the fuck did you just say right now?
What did you say? What?
Okay,
Bitch.
Oh, the timing was specifically chosen for when the people would be coming through the door.
Yeah. So at this point, you see two women. One is probably in her 30s, and she has a youngin' at her side, a boy who's like 4 years old. And then you see a second who looks quite different from the first. She's probably in her mid to late 20s. And then you see a third who's probably in his mid 20s. Definitely has a bit more of a boyish face, but definitely is in his mid 20s. And she smiles and says, "These are my children. Please meet Sir Florence. This is, and Edrich. This is Lady Nia, Lady Melior, and Sir Gwynnedoc." Or sorry, she says, and Gwynnedoc.
It seems that you have a good family. The House of Diona has certainly been through much, but family is everything, and you have good people. So why wait so long to reach out to Sir Florence?
Well, we do reside here in Melahut. Florence is considered an enemy of the state.
That is true.
We heard rumors that Florence was amongst the entourage heading north. We had hoped to intercept him, but it seems that you might have taken an alternate route to get there.
Well, I suppose all I have to say is, greetings to you all. I am Sir Florence of Idmiston, and the Baron of Axe, and by virtue, family.
Your words are true. We were waylaid, both on the way here and on the way down.
She nods. These roads are dangerous these days. It seems that the death of Uther brings chaos not only to Logres, but to all lands. Even with Octa and Iosa dead. The danger has changed here and has not been removed. Instead of simple Saxon raiders, now knights prey upon each other's lands. Hillmen come from the west, and there are those men of Logres that seek retribution against the people of Malahad. Which I hope the two of you are not amongst.
I will say that any action that Knights of Salisbury have taken have not been done with official sanction.
Malahad is also a little too far north for our concern.
Quite a ways from Salisbury, yes.
Yes, it is. No, you would not have been home and... Well, I would invite you to come see how the manor has changed, but perhaps it would be a little dangerous, especially in these lawless times.
It is best, she frowns. I am Lady Lucia of Diona. I am Lady Lucia Diona. I am not your aunt, as far as anyone is aware, and perhaps that is best for all. I would not put it past the Centurion King to hold me hostage, should he find out.
Right.
I will say this. While it is not out of the question that the Centurion King will do that, Sir Florence is not at war with Malahad, and while enemies at one point, to do so would be making enemies larger, I think, perhaps in portion, than he would wish.
Perhaps, she says, what have he to fear? Salisbury by itself?
I was thinking in this case, an insult to a knight, in this case of Cornwall, would be an insult that would need to either be answered or brushed aside by the king.
Ah, yes.
To be honest, I think Idris is more prudent than that.
In that
I doubt
case,
he would
then,
go to war with a land
sorry.
halfway across the continent.
In
Across
that
the
case-
island.
In that case, I think perhaps secrecy indeed is best, though it would be a petty action of the Centurion King. I have spoken with him a few times. He did not seem petty.
I think
course,
age has
it
made
is
him
not my
worse, from what I've heard and seen. But nevertheless, some caution is wise.
As always.
Yes.
Sir Florence, I will not wait any longer to ask what I am to ask, for it is a big ask. And I understand if the answer to such is simply no. I believe that we are not able to protect ourselves as we ought. We have no knights since the death of my late husband. My son, she motions, Madoc, though he was squired, complications in war saw that his sire met his death on the battlefield, and he did not find another sire. He was returned here to deal with, well, to deal with the aftermath of everything. The ruin. And though his stewardship skills have proved valuable, my son as an esquire is but nothing in the land of knights. I would ask you, by way of a family request, should you do this, we will respond to you should you call for our aid. I ask that you knight Madoc. Or if you are unwilling to do so, that you offer me charity from your coffers in Cornwall, enough to renew this place and perhaps hire a hedge knight.
I will say, at that mention of charity from coffers, there is not quite a relaxing from Edrich, but he definitely goes, that's what I've been looking for. I would like to, if I could, roll an intrigue check.
Yep.
I want to see if these people align, because he was pretty sure from the get-go that this was a way to exploit the generosity and wealth of Florence.
Sure. Yeah.
So let's see what an intrigue says. Critical.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. No, they are not lying. Strangely enough, I really hoped you'd roll a 20 so we could play on that really well.
Yeah.
So
They're full of shit.
yeah.
I think there's a moment when, as that said, Edrich draws up taller and his eyes grow sharper and he tilts his head ready to tear into them, and then he's like, "Oh."
I'll give
and he
you
looks visibly surprised.
I'll give you a little bit more for the crit too, because there is probably a hint of lie. It seems like there's more to the story of why Madoc is not a knight.
You speak true, mostly. But I think I would like to ask you and the boy himself about the circumstances that led to him being unfit for service.
Let me just see. Okay.
But yeah, Edrich definitely, as he was getting ready, he was like, "Oh, no, never mind, they're 90% genuine. That's completely, whoa." But then he catches on to that hint of a lie, and he's like, "Yes, worldview."
He goes to speak up and almost is you can tell he's about to try and defend himself against Edric's words, and then she kind of speaks up, and he cuts himself off, and she says, Sir Edrich has it right. There's more to his story. Before our family fell to ruin, Madoc was... He enjoyed wine, perhaps a bit too much. He was taught poorly by his knight. His knight in him, their conroy, as it were. They traveled towards Lincoln. Alongside Octa and Neosa. Madoc did not think it right to attack the lands of Logres, and he deserted his knight. If he were to request another sire, it would be likely that there would be more questions, and that could brand him a traitor to Malahut. No one keeps track of squires unless they go and make themselves well known.
I think Edrich will remain silent at this and purely just turn his head to look to Florence.
Thinks upon this for a moment. What was the name of the cousin again? It was
Madoc.
Madoc goes. I've made up my mind, Madoc. I will knight you. You will become a full-fledged knight of the realm. In such, you will do all you can to serve your family.
Given how this was going before this, he looks really surprised, and then like a flood of emotions, and he says, "You honor me, Sir Florence."
Florence will take a moment before he goes. In this age, so often have I been told that mercy is a weakness. It is not, and it will never be. So I do not blame you for your actions. If anything, I think they are just, and for that reason I think you are worthy of a true knighthood. As part of such a knighthood, I have my own way of attempting things. Of course, you will need the money you need for armor and a horse, so I think 75 Libram will do. To you and your house, of course.
They all kind of like gasp audibly, because that's like, if you think about what you guys started with like 10 or 8 or 0, right? Your manor was 10, yeah.
I'm not going to give myself glory for that courtesy roll. That's basically just him not audibly going,
"What the fuck are you doing?" Yeah.
But on a courtesy critical, very much lizard-like, just standing there watching this proceedings, remarkably sanguine.
All right. Yeah, so Lady Lucia stands up and puts a warm hand on Florence's shoulder and says, "It's very frail too, very obviously frail." She says, "You are generous beyond your reputation, Sir Florence."
I consider it a matter of honor and also faith. Perhaps it is my upbringing. Perhaps it's my superfluous amounts of wealth. Come to think of it. In either case, family always comes first.
All right. Anything else with that scene, guys? I think otherwise it's a great place to stop and move on.
I think Edrich will say, "You are a good man." Precisely like that. Kind of like sizing up, weirdly enough.
Okay.
But yeah, fully. He thought these people were conning you out of your money, and then you just give them so much money.
Florence would give money to a con man. It's just his faith. That's what they do.
That's why he rolled intrigue. He was ready to go, you people are liars. No, wait, hold on. You're just lies a little.
Yeah.
You lied for a good reason. Betraying Octa and Eos is a fun thing. I would like to have done it if we weren't enemies.
Also, Florence rolled generous versus selfish, and I made a decision that if generous succeeded, he'd do both. He's very generous. So yeah.
Okay.
Good for this one.
Let's figure out one last thing before we cut over to Perin for the next scene.
Take your time, amigo.
The last thing we want to figure out is just what way home. So, you guys are just outside of Buricum. You probably don't want to visit Buricum. Just gonna throw that out there.
No.
Yeah. So the options are, one sec. I'm just gonna fix Mark's camera. It's driving me nuts. One sec. You're on this view for some reason. You're out of sync. Let me fix you.
Oh, I thought it was because I moved, and then I looked. I'm like, no, I'm very out of sync.
No, yeah, for some reason, it doesn't make sense even. There you go. And fix. Okay, so there's a standard way. Of course, you'd want to probably skirt a Buricum, but you could head towards Pocklington, down to Winteringham, and then into Lincoln. Alternatively, you could take a road far less known, or a trail far less known, keeping in mind that roads are trails, and trails are... What do we call it? What was the thing? Roads are
trails are forest.
Yeah, almost.
Forest is forest.
Whatever it was. Everything's downgraded.
Trails are pods or something.
Yeah. So it's like, so you'd be taking a forest path almost through Rostock, or you could take the more common ride home, of which every time you've gone, you've been ambushed.
Something bad has happened.
Yeah. Ambushed by Saxons, I think, every time.
I'll be honest, I've got a good feeling about this road. I think we'll get a bunch of Saxons this time and we'll kill them all.
Exactly.
But I think Edrich will recommend going the larger road. Largely, and you can tell this a little, he wants to avoid the repeat of what happened last time, where we ended up in a strange castle. And also, now that we don't have noble women with us...
Yeah, it'd probably be fine if we do get no battle. So long as we're not too outnumbered.
Okay. We'll come back to you guys in a bit. We're going to go over to the other side of the world, and we're going to visit Mr.
Visit
Liam.
Australia.
Yep. And visit Liam over here in a small kingdom that he's happened upon called Listenese.
We're going to Egypt.
Listerine.
About listenings.
Yeah. All right. So when we last caught up with Percy, he was heading with his retinue through the mountains and down through these forests on the western side of Cumbria. On the way down, you ran into a hunting party where you met with a queen. The Queen of Listeness.
Yes, and her very suspicious of me knights. She was far too hospitable to a band of roaming mercenaries.
You also see with her, of course, her boy of 10. He looks about 10 years old. Right around Robert's age.
Interesting.
Okay. So, a short ride through the trails by their lead hunter, and you make it to the castle. You realize kind of as you're traveling through here, you're like, if I were to go out following this trail, like, I'm not sure I could even make it back to this castle. That's like how hidden within the wood it is. But there is a beautiful, kind of very small, I guess, miniature-sized lake. You notice these are lands of many lakes and rivers as you pass through. And you see the well-kept but small castle ahead.
Seems a fine place, my lady.
We have kept it well through the generations, since my ancestors founded it.
Do you have to deal much with the politics of the region? I know Malahut and Westergales? Is that what it's called?
Estragales.
Estragales. And Estragales both are often not troublesome, but constantly in motion. You tucked away in the mountains here, I imagine you don't have to deal with it as often.
Indeed, the Perilous Forest keeps us well protected to the south, and the mountains keep us free of the Saxons that trouble your eastern shores. We have many landed nobles in the region that owe us fealty, but we are simple people, hunting folk. We are good Christians and good nobles for our lands and our people.
What I wouldn't give for a little bit of simplicity back in my life.
Where do you hail from, Percy?
Southward. I've always roamed since I was quite young, but originally I hail from the region of Salisbury, along the border to the other one. It's been a while. Silchester.
Silchester. I traveled there once when I was a young girl, many years ago now. She doesn't look that old, by the way. In fact, she's probably younger than you. So. Yeah.
It's a fine place, though most of Logres and Greater Britain has seen much carnage in the last few years.
I've heard. It seems that the lands of Logres are without a king yet.
Aye, that they are. And I suspect it will stay that way for some time yet. Though I know there are more than a few that wish it different.
I imagine there are many that would take the opportunity of an absent king to claim it for themselves. The Saxons and other raiders amongst them, if they could.
And do. You know, it's interesting to me, being raised my whole life talking about lineage and divine right, understanding that there is one man meant to be king at any given time. And yet, it seems that one man is constantly in flux. Even now, there are people who wish to claim the throne that most don't believe have the right to do so. And yet, if they did take it, what would stop them? Would God smite them, or would they just be the new normal?
When Perin says that, does it sound like a very doubtful of God kind of thing?
It doesn't sound. It's more of doubtful of a societal concept than God's part in it, if that makes sense.
Right. She says, forgive me, Percy, but I would not put it past our God to do the right thing should it require it. If that right thing is smiting, then it ought be done.
Indeed. Well, if it helps, despite my history as a rather pessimistic knight, mind you, I'm hopeful for the future. It might take some time, but I think someday, perhaps after either of us are gone, there'll be sun to clear away the storm.
As you ride into the courtyard, I need a spiritual test from Perin.
Concerning. That is a
Holy
barely.
rolling.
That's barely a failure.
Okay.
I think God is dead, actually.
We have killed him.
You feel uncomfortable in this place. There's something uneasy for you as you enter. It doesn't feel like a place of refuge. You feel like your skin's crawling just being here. And you can't explain it. Everything in your mind, as you look around, everything about this place seems safe. Seems perfect, really. It's almost like that perfect pisses you off.
Especially given the positions that Perin has been in the last few years. Yeah, I think there's definitely a level of uncomfortability with what's going on. It seems that your little hunting castle serves you very well. Looks positively delightful.
She smiles. We do our best with it. My father was ill a few years ago, and he had no son of his own. At least not one that lived to adulthood. My brother passed when he was young, barely out of the crib.
Oh, sorry, continue.
He sought a political marriage for me to the right Christian lord. And that is how
That's
I met.
often the way of things.
Yes, but I consider myself fortunate. I do love my lord husband. I don't think many have the ability to say that.
Very few. It is, I think, a very powerful thing to love. I've known many complications to come from impulse and desire, but well, we all walk paths. We don't always get to choose them.
It's true. Yet I wonder sometimes if there are those that lean heavily into their fate long before it's determined.
I think you might be right. But who knows? Maybe there's a special kind of dignity towards facing something head on. Maybe there's some disgrace in trying to scramble for a way off of a road that you can't step free of. Forgive me. I'm an old knight and I've seen a great deal of troubles. So it tends to fuel my ramblings. I'll make sure that my men are kept in line. They are a rowdy bunch, but they will not abuse your hospitality so long as I am here.
Thank you, Percy. Should you need me, I will be praying for my lord husband's return.
As will I.
And with that, she's going to head to the chapel with her entourage to pray. Anything you want to do in particular while you're here?
Yes. I want to find my right hand guy with this group that with the group that I took with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to speak to him for a second. Do we want to make that guy real fast, or do you want to just be a guy?
Sure, yeah, we can do that. Sir Ewan.
McGregor?
Yeah.
Straight up Obi-Wan. He hates peoples.
We'll say he's of same region. Yeah, he can be from Cumbria.
Alternatively, if you take a more progressive approach to it, it could be the 5th Olwen.
That actually works for me too. Either way, let's not do another Olwen though.
Yeah.
We got Olwen, we got Olwen, we got Olwen, we got Alwyn again.
Yeah. Well, you know what I need to do is are there 1,000 male names and they're ranked from common to uncommon. The lady names are 100 that they offered. I need to use some AI and see if I can bump that to 1,000. So, because that would be sweet. But we'll go with Sir Ewan. Sir Ewan is, we'll say he's from Pendragon. It's been
right.
Yeah.
Percy will make his way over to Ewan and just kind of quietly go, keep the men in check. I don't want any accidents here while we're under hospitality. And he kind of like looks around and he goes, something about this place doesn't sit right with me. They're more welcoming to a group of mercenary knights such as ourselves than I'm comfortable with. See if you can find anything out about what they might be hiding here.
I think you're right, Percy. Many of the men have reported this to me. They seem uneasy.
I'm concerned, after some of the things that I've seen, that there might be some sort of magic involved. Keep everyone lightly unpacked. I want to be able to move in a few hours' notice if we need to.
Understood. Okay. And they will do
there,
so.
I'm good.
Anything else you want to do?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. We're gonna do just see what you guys eat for the night. there's your minor feast. It's gathered. So you undergo a simple meal. This isn't necessarily like the formal kind of feast. This is just you guys being fed well.
Yeah.
You know. Any suspicion about the food and drink, Mr. Perin?
Yes. Let's roll trusting versus suspicious, and then also I'd say add a +10 to it for trauma. Is that acceptable?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
only
I
was
wonder why
I
I'd be
poisoned,
worried.
I've poisoned people.
I was supposed to say, I wonder what would cause that problem. Maybe at the time he was fucking poisoned.
Yeah, I'd say he's gonna wait definitively, like after people have dug in and eaten a decent amount before he like gives his guys the all clear to start eating too. You know, like enough. Enough.
Sorry.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say, do you want me to give glory?
Oh yeah. 15.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give it enough time.
I like it.
Give it enough time that like symptoms would start showing, and then he'll let his guys eat.
So you kind of you bite the bullet first kind of thing?
No. No.
No,
Someone else is gonna taste that before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's letting everybody else bite the bullet before he that's the critical suspicious. Everyone
You know
else
what?
is eating before he does.
I want you to, okay.
If
I
it
want
is, wait. Sorry. If it is like if it's food that's just served to us and there's no other people eating, just like my crew, then legit, like Perin's gonna pick like 2 guys to be on food tasting duty. They're gonna taste it, wait 30 minutes, and then if they don't start dying, then everybody can eat. I think that's the plan.
Excellent. Yeah, because it is like that, but not because it's like, oh, this food's specially served to you. It's just there isn't like an actual feast. It's like you guys are brought food to your quarters.
That's
mostly because they don't want a bunch of hedge knights
partway
roaming around their castle unwarranted.
Yeah.
Now, I need you to test something else against that suspicious real quick. I need you to test hospitality plus 15.
Whoa. We're in the castle hospitality.
Is that a 1?
That is
what
a
you got?
success, but not a critical.
How's that
That's
possible?
a
correct.
7.
No, I got a 7.
Plus 15. Shouldn't that have been a... Oh, no.
My hospitality is at a 14. So
14. Yeah.
Yeah, so it...
Yep, 14 plus 15.
Yep, that's 29.
Yep.
So he got a 7.
Oh, okay, so 7 plus 9. I gotcha.
Yep.
Understood. Okay. There's a strange thing that goes through you again. That skin crawling when you order your men to test the food. There's like this, for whatever reason, overriding your logic. There's this strong emotion and desire to be the first to taste the food and drink. But you override it.
How aware of that am I?
I think towards like after it's done, after they've eaten already, you kind of realize that feeling in you.
Okay. Do my guys die?
No.
Interesting. I think legit. Like if Ewan is like there, while they're watching the guys eat, Percy does just straight up say that out loud. Like, interesting. That's very interesting.
What is Percy?
Nothing, my friend. Tell the men that they're able to partake. I suspect we won't be seeing any trouble tonight.
You heard Percy. Bottoms up, boys. He goes and toasts a cheer. You know, these guys aren't exactly courtly knights, the squad you've gathered.
I've got a not insignificant amount of picts here as well, I think, too, so...
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they were probably asked to, like, sleep outside in the stables or something. Like, they're not...
Which, yeah, that's...
Yeah.
as somebody with a hate the picks at least 7, yeah, that's totally fair.
Hold on.
That's
Actually,
correct.
no, they weren't. They're welcomed in here with you guys, and they look really uneasy while they're in here, like really, really uneasy.
Now that is strange.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sorry, I'm gonna do one more thing now, and I'm gonna make you make another guy. Can I have a head of the Picts guy here too, to talk to?
Head of the Picts. Yep. Let's see.
Captain of the Picts.
I need a different name for a Pict. One sec.
He uses an axe. It's a picked axe.
I call him.
See what he plays.
Yeah, the Minecraft. Yeah. Come on. There we go. Okay. His name is Perin. You're confused with Perin.
That's all right. Percy will make his way over to Terran and kind of squint. Goes, you feel it too, don't you? You and your men.
They nod. He nods.
Are your people?
It must be a curse.
I'm inclined to agree as well. But curses have a reason for existing. Something that it's meant to achieve. So why is there a curse here? Do your people have any stories of this region? Anything that might help my decision making?
My people do not travel the West Coast. Not until Norgals. We take boat if we do.
And why is that?
Because of the perilous forest.
All right. Keep your men under control, Turan. I'll keep an eye and an ear out. I don't want to
Very
stay
well.
here too much longer than we have to.
I agree. We must go. Make an intrigue
know.
roll, Percy.
Oh, I love intrigue rolls. You spoil me. 'Tis my favorite thing.
You notice your second in
Look at
command, Ian McGregor. Ewan McGregor. He doesn't. He does not seem to have the same sort of uneasiness. You kind of realize, like, because he was talking to you about it, like you were mentioning him. He never mentioned it. He doesn't look quite as anxious or uneasy as everyone else. It just seems like he's going about his job.
Do I know about his traits? Like, do I know that he's generous, arbitrary,
You know
religious, famously religious?
Yeah, you know his famous ones, his arbitrary and his generous, yeah. And his famous religious, yeah. Anything 16 or above, yep. Yeah, those are things he's known for.
I think Perin will actually check in with any of his knights that are famously religious and see if any of them are feeling comfortable with things.
Okay. Let me just see.
gotta say, arbitrary and generous are a great combination of vices and virtues because it just results in someone who's more generous.
Yeah, there are two pagans that seem to have no problem with this place, and there are two British Christians that seem to have no problem with this place.
Interesting. Huh. Okay. I don't know what to do with that, but that is very good information to have. I feel like I need to talk to the lady again, but I'm not ready to do it yet, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The queen, rather.
All right.
Oh, you've moved me on the map slightly.
Indeed. All right. So, anything you want to do for the rest of the evening? Things are winding down and such.
I don't think so. I think he's done his investigating for the night, and the rest of the night's just going to be staying vigilant. You know, I think he's at least kind of figured out like whatever's going on isn't necessarily a threat, but he's still not relaxed, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Are you planning to stay up all night, or just make sure you're guarded?
No. I think he's going to trust that whatever's going on with this place, the sense of hospitality applies both ways. I don't think he thinks he's going to be harmed in the night.
All right. Give me an awareness roll.
Did he already say which rolls?
Yeah. Is
Yes,
that me?
awareness.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if
Gotcha.
it was.
Awareness. Yeah. Okay.
You failed your awareness roll in real life. I'm sorry.
I think my audio is getting a little choppy. Not anything major, but just in case. Okay.
You went blurry for a second there, so it might have been your connection for a sec.
Yeah, I think it was on my end, honestly. Okay, that is a failure.
Okay. And one more time. Okay.
That is a slightly better failure.
Double failure.
Could have been a
Alright.
fumble.
Can I redeem channel points as a player?
If you're not in the scene, you can. Yep.
Oh, can we?
Don't worry,
Yeah.
I just said that I wasn't going to
The-
stay up late, so I'm going to get stabbed. You know,
The
it's
rule-
fine.
The rule was that you can use the advantage thing on someone if you have no character in the scene. So
Enjoy an advantage for that last one specifically.
If you say so, buddy. Well,
Never
there you
mind.
go.
I'm so sorry.
No,
I'm so
I think the
sorry.
advantage means I take the better one still, yeah.
8,000 channel points
Yeah.
down the drain.
Yep.
I appreciate that, buddy, but my odds weren't that good.
test
You're
test
better than half. Sorry.
Liam when you can test energetic for me.
I'm great at energetic. Ooh, that's a
Yeah.
natural crit, too.
You rouse in the middle of the night. Well, I'll let him deal with the cat situation, but you rouse in the middle of the night. It's quiet. You look around and you see your other men. Most of them are asleep. Some are sitting, just staring outward.
How staring outward? Like, if I wave a hand in front of them, are they anything happening
Frozen.
with that?
Yep, nothing.
the men that were normal, or the men that were like not feeling uneasy here, how are they?
Just the same as the others.
So it seems like it's only me that's
Yeah.
up and at him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, seems I owe a conversation to the lady. And he'll gather his things, and I think he's even gonna like wear his armor. And he's not gonna have his sword drawn, but he's gonna make his way up.
As you make your way through, I'm going to give you another awareness roll. This one we can add +5 since you're awake and you critted on energetic.
I'm alert.
You hear a voice on the wind. It says in a whisper, Perin.
That's not my name anymore. What have you, creature? Release my men.
You hear it say your name again.
These spirits think they know you. He's gonna keep moving towards the gates of the castle.
You walk by one of the windows and you see like a glow out on the lake. It's almost like the moonlight, but the lake's almost like shining.
Any movement in the castle whatsoever, or does it
None.
seem like everybody's frozen?
It seems like no one. You can't find anyone other than your own men, but your men standing guard and everyone, they're just frozen.
All right. If this is an invitation, might as well accept. And he'll actually make his way out to the fucking lake in full armor. Let's go.
Okay. Okay.
I'm in no mood for games, spirits. I know it is your way to be tricksy, but I've had a very stressful year, and I'd rather you just be out with what you want.
As you kind of make your way out to the water's edge, you see a glowing, almost like strange, almost round, glowing something. Energy, perhaps? It's floating just about 10 feet over the water.
Oh shit. I can't remember. I think it was Dallin who experienced the vision with Jaren's younger brother.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so it wasn't for Perin Percy. This is just spooky.
Yep. Though you've encountered Merlin dreams before.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's a glowing light, but not necessarily the answers I was very politely asking for. What do I have to do here to satisfy you? What do you want from me? Have you not asked enough?
Who is the rightful king, Sir Perin?
I know in my heart that it's the boy Arthur. I've seen his destiny. I've seen what Britain would look like with him growing into his own. I'll soak this country in blood if I have to see him sit on that throne and make sure that he can wash it clean.
Then step forward into the water and prove your devotion.
Leap of faith. That's something that I don't know. Might as well. The worst thing that could happen is I drown. And he starts to, in full armor, wade into the water.
Okay. You get but 2 steps in, and then you just completely submerge into like this endless watery pit.
I don't think there's a lot of panic with it. There's no attempts to swim. There's no, I don't think he even, takes a deep breath before he walks out into the water. And as he sinks, he just tries to keep his eyes open and, lets it take him where it's going. Doesn't resist the current, if that makes sense. I know there's not, a current, but,
I need 2 tests to verify this, and you're welcome to compassion yourself if need be for the scene. But I need a valorous
Con, I don't drown. No,
valorous and a spiritual to start with.
Valorous and spiritual. Interesting. I will attempt a passion here. Well, that's a bummer.
Luckily, you don't lose anything for it.
I think a 15 you do, don't you? You lose -5?
Ooh.
Nope.
Or no, it's only above
That's
16
that's
above.
16 or higher.
16 above. Okay, good. Thank God.
You do, however, lose an automatic point in this specific special case. Wealthy Lord
Ah.
to Robert goes down. You have
Do I
no-
still consider Robert as my lord?
That's a good question.
I haven't served him in a long time. Well,
Yeah.
I think we'll answer that after this scene. I think
Yeah.
that'll be an interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Valorous succeeds. Spiritual succeeds.
Okay. You feel the water kind of drag you in, the weight of your armor down. And you hear the whisper again. And it says, "Your past is a night. It is what sinks you. Free yourself of the armor, should you wish to swim."
I think he does so easily. It's not hard for him to start to pull free the chains and the cloth. But the one thing that I think he hesitates on is the sword that he's carrying. Now, it's not his sword. It's not the Sword of Victory blade. That still resides at his family manor. But I think for a moment it looks like that blade to him. And he struggles to let go of it for a moment before reaching out and plunging it into the mud and the muck at the bottom of the lake. If this be my fate. And then he lets go of the sword.
Okay. I want you to test the following for me. I want you to test forgiving +10, vengeful -10.
Interesting.
Vengeful -10 is.
Oh,
still...
no, I gave it 10. I gave it 10.
I was so confused, like mathematically. I was like, you had 30 vengeful?
That's not that that's not that out of realm of possibility for Percy, honestly.
All right. Roll a d6.
That's a 3.
Your forgiving goes up by 3. And your vengeful down by 3. You feel the weight of the poisoning of Uther, and you realize you've done what you've done. You attempted what you attempted. And that Uther himself no longer lives. Why should you hold on to the burden of that vengeance after his death? I want you to test generous plus 10, selfish minus 10.
Shit.
I want you to roll 2d6. And another d6. Because you fumbled on the other one. Right. Your generous goes up by 9. Your selfish goes down. Oh, you're muted.
Jeez, that was almost a complete reversal.
Guess what? You're being literally baptized.
I want you to do the same thing with one more. Merciful and cruel, but it will be a -5 and a +5. Not a -10 and a +10.
And I'm holding on to that one.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense with the sword being the hardest thing for him to let go, too.
Mm-hmm. You equate that strength to might makes right in this world, and knights must be cruel to survive. They must be what a peaceful land needs in order to be successful, to fight against those who will be cruel.
At least, I think, for now, his line of thinking is, when Arthur comes, things can be different. But for now, someone needs to still pave the world for him. And that cruelty he can't let go of yet.
Okay. Lastly, I need you to roll 5d6. Okay.
21.
As you plunge the sword in, you begin to find yourself floating back to the surface, but you're out of air as you kind of try to breach the breach the surface. Give me a con test, just flat, please.
Can I use the one that I succeeded already as a joke?
No, I think it's more cinematic if you don't.
Man, that's fair.
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
As you find yourself on the edge of the water again, sucking in air, you hear the sound of the shout of several of your men and some hounds that come running this way. They're calling, Percy! And they're running your way. Torches. You look over and you see your sword next to your hand beside you.
He grabs onto it and uses it to help him stand because he's getting older. And he waves down his men. I'm all right, lads. I'm all right.
All right, and lastly, I need you to add a new. You're going to add a new passion to your sheet. First off, before you do, you're going to take your loyalty lord and put it at 0.
Dunzo.
And then you're going to add a new passion, homage Arthur, at 21.
Oh. Don't take this the wrong way, Liam. I'm so glad that I didn't come with you, because the way Eveldrick would have died is fully vaporized going into this place.
he stepped into that water. He's like, oh shit, I gotta get him out of the water. Ah!
No, he crosses the boundary and like fully like going through an aperture science emancipation grill.
Vaporized by the water, yeah. By the light. Awesome. I'm gonna roll that right now, actually. Beautiful.
All right. And for Sir Perin, we have updated your art. As you come out of the water, you look slightly less the monster that you were going in. You kind of see your reflection, and for the first time, you see human eyes again. All right. Okay, cool. You can, though it's not understood, this will be spoken about by your men. This little almost drowning strange thing at the lake. We're gonna give you 50 glory just for going through that.
Hell yeah.
You're a born again Arthurian.
Sir Percy, the once drowned.
I have seen the light.
Oh yeah, I guess there was a similar thing with what's his name, wasn't there? Theon.
Who?
Theon in the books for Game of Thrones. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The John God
His
scenes.
family, his family got drowned a lot.
Yeah, but most of them just really drowned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for his uncle, who drowned like 20 times and came back slightly crazier each go.
All right,
Just like
gang.
me.
We're gonna continue this soon, but we're gonna do our only BRB for the night. So we'll be back in a couple minutes, and we'll keep going. All right.
Alright.
Here we go. Arthurian game
Exactly.
here. It's like
Even
you know
the
who's the
English
best?
suck.
Our kind. This game
Also,
would
Mr. Bob.
this game would be really racist if it wasn't in ancient history instead, right? So, like if it was dealing
also,
with like
Mr.
modern peoples, it'd be like, ooh, yeah, what's up?
Can I clear my hate Uther 23?
No, you cannot.
That's fair. Is okay, then it is very
But at the
funny.
same
'cause
time-
I do still hate Uther 2 points more than I care about Arthur.
Yeah, I think. I think. Ooh, yeah. You know what? Let's replace. No, we're gonna keep it for now. I need to think about it, but
I think that's fair.
I like
think
the
that's fair.
idea that your new homage for Uther or for Arthur doesn't necessarily wipe away the fear that a new Uther could
That
arise.
he could become like his father. Ooh, yeah, I do like that actually.
That's what I'm thinking.
Now it's
So
it's time for me to explain to you the birds and the bees. Should the bird covet the nest of another?
If the bird doesn't have consent with the bee, then you should not be having the bird and the bee interact.
listen,
Covet not
if
thy neighbors.
well, yeah, imagine Florence saying that too.
That's true.
The
I mean,
bird and the bee should not be interacting in the first place. The bees are supposed to be an allegory about flowers. The birds are supposed to be about birds. They should not interact. In any case,
Yeah.
this is an allegory.
yeah,
me
the
one
bird
second.
should be with the birds, and the bee should be with the bees. That's what you're
Flower.
telling us, right, Thomas? Be with your own people. No.
All right. Let's see here, folks. We're gonna kick back over to the folks on the other side here, and we're gonna change up the music a bit. Back to our standard music. Right. So leaving Abercombe, you're going around it, and then you're heading down to Pocklington and Winteringham and such, right? That was the plan.
That's right.
All right.
Ye-
I need Thomas to roll 2d100 and Mark to roll another d6.
All right.
4 and 47.
6.
Okay.
You beat my D100 roll.
Oh yeah.
Okay. As you guys are riding south, not gonna make this easy for you.
Comes at the door. I'll be right back.
All right. Make an awareness roll. No, we can do battle roll for you, Florence, and we'll get Thomas to do the same when he gets back.
I return.
Success.
Battle roll, Edrich.
Battle roll. Battle roll. Success.
Okay. You you see an entourage moving. You are close to the forest in Pocklington, and as you're going down the forest trail, you hear a noise. So you guys decide to go off the trail a bit and keep an eye and keep a watchful eye with those successful battle rolls. You see a small convoy of Saxons, 14, so not as small as what you got with your group of 2. But they have what looks like 2 slaves that they're pulling along with them.
Well, we can't have that. Do we have a group of 2, or do we have more with our Conroy? Because a bunch of us did,
It's true.
like, get out of
Yeah.
the... So I think we got numbers, though probably less than 14.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. Why don't we get you both to roll a d6? And we'll see what your numbers are. This doesn't count your
It's gonna be 2, isn't it?
6.
Oh no!
yeah.
12.
12 to 14.
Oh, full common.
I think
We can take 'em on.
the moment this like crosses Evildrick's mind, he's like, yeah, we've got 12. A knight is better than say 3 Saxons at any given moment. We got to do the slaves. We got to save the people. That's what a good Christian knight would do. Charge.
Yeah, we outnumber them.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Well,
outnumber them, and
but
we we
I'll
almost outnumber them. We do outskill them, and we're gonna try for a counter ambush.
I'll take a horse roll from each of you, a weapon skill of your choice, and a battle roll. Actually, we'll count the battle rolls they're already dealt with, so just the other 2.
May I impassion myself? Actually, no. You know what? It's not. I kind of want to impassion myself.
It says I don't need to, so I'm not going to. Any bonuses, or are we just doing it flat?
Oh no!
First off, I go mad.
Oh, that's very funny.
First off, I go fully insane.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Talk about that in a minute.
You know what? Now's the time to reveal myself. Chaos in battle.
Roll as normal, Thomas, with horsemanship and weapon. Actually, roll with a minus 10. Roll with a minus 10 on both.
Yep.
Before that happens, do we have any bonus to the attack for being on horse, or are we just doing it flat?
Just flat in this case. It's a really high level.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is
12.
me calling out for anyone pathetically. Could I get it? But yes. Let me roll with the minus 10.
Unfortunately, Thomas, I think it might be on cooldown.
Yep.
What's on cooldown?
The advantage thing. I'm not seeing it under the rewards.
Oh yeah.
Fuck myself. Oh, never mind.
Oh shit!
Okay, I succeeded
Hey.
on both of those things. Look, here's the thing. Even in his most insane, that's mostly where Edrich operates. Evildrick's got the same kind of structure. Oh, I did get hit in the head with a Barrett model S2A1 50 caliber sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Just Edrich gets sniped.
God, Liam,
That's
I'm sorry.
unfair.
I'm so sad. I'm so sad that I gave advantage to you that didn't work.
It's okay, buddy.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, you guys make quick work with them. And
Do I lower
they're
my
routed
honor?
quickly. We're gonna talk about that. No, you're not gonna lower your honor. I'm gonna explain kind of what happened to that, since you're really not you.
I think you stab another knight to buy you time to get away.
You're both successful. So as this group is routed, and we'll get to like your thoughts, Edrich, after, because usually madness comes after the thing that happens.
Yeah.
You're left with the two slaves, 2 captives.
Edrich is
Florence.
very still.
Florence cuts them from their bonds and will say, "What are your names? I am Sir Florence of Idmiston, Baron of the Axe, and this is Sir Edrich."
I'm Angarad, and this is Obi. We're sisters from Winteringham. We're making our way to Abericum. Our brothers were killed. We managed to flee on foot and get this far to the forest. Thought we'd lost them, but they found us, took us captive.
I see. That is unfortunate. Do not worry, you are safe now. We ourselves will be traveling through Winteringham if you would like to return home. Otherwise, we might be able to do what we can to make sure you have safe travel to Eberacum.
We will go with you where you go. If that's returning home, then, well, our goods have been taken anyhow.
I see. In that case, you may ride along with us. I think we have a few sport horses. If not, we can spare a few riders.
Angarad will say, "Might I join you, Sir Knight?"
Why, of course, my dear lady.
Okay, as for Matt and Edrich here, you realize when you were leaping in, going to be the hero, that goes a cut beyond what Edrich wants to do.
Yes.
That's
exactly.
being some ideal knight. Not there's no gain. These are foreign people in a land not yours. You can't run logistics. You can't run logic to suggest that this was like necessary for.
Yes. I could have kept going, and strategically it would have been about the same. I was the one to suggest it, and it could have been for the murder.
Yeah, and you just feel disgusted with yourself, and you feel like you need to act out in some manner in the next couple of days here. Roll 2d6 as well. Okay. Nonetheless, you're going to make it to Winteringham.
I think Edrich gives the impression he's quieter than usual. Like he was never a chatterbox, but he gives the impression, I think, in those days of very much a kettle about to boil.
Roll reckless plus 10.
A reckless. Where is reckless?
Prudent minus 10.
I'm gonna do -9. Yeah.
I think you ride off.
Yeah,
Edrich.
full on.
In madness.
I think. Can I have an outburst first?
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
Or it might be too telling about what's going on.
That
maybe
being said, would Florence notice for sure?
I think. Okay, so here's what's happening. It's like as we're riding, like nothing seems to happen to bring out this change. But from where you're riding, you hear a snarl as Edrich goes. No, this isn't right. This isn't right. It's you. You with your smile and your generosity. You insulted me. I'm gonna fully ride away.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just so you know, your mic was what do you call that? It was like phasing out
popping.
from.
I'm so
phasing
sorry.
out. No.
It was
we heard everything. It just came in so weird and staticky.
Yeah.
It was kind of unhinged. I think
I'm
it worked.
so sorry.
No, it was well done.
No,
I think it worked. I think
it was cool.
That well.
Got you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Fully like a bolt of lightning. Edrich is that way.
Okay. Yeah. Florence, out of amusement, actually no, we'll say. I mean, he called you out, so let's assume you noticed it. But it'd be amusing if you didn't. Yeah.
What would that be? An awareness +5?
No, just do a total awareness. And if you fumble, that would be like you being like, who?
Okay.
What? Where'd Edrich go?
That'd be great.
Oh, no.
Edrich, like, who was he yelling at? Was he behind me?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. You realize after he starts riding off that he was like yelling at you.
Oh. I think that's his reaction. He's like, what the? That was very weird.
Okay, Florence, when you get to Winteringham, you're offered a place to stay with the two sisters, and what was their family's house is now just the two of them, it seems.
Yeah.
I did note that Angarod has a lustful 17, so I need you to make a chase test, good sir.
Sure thing. Chased versus lustful, or just chased?
Just chase versus her lustful. So
All right.
she's going to try and seduce.
Failure.
Yep. Unless you're opposed to it, because we never force this upon players without their agreement.
No, he would.
Sir Horrence.
He definitely would.
Do you see what happens the moment Eveldrick turns his back?
He was literally like, my friend said some really weird shit and then rode off for some reason.
I like how he's like, men are wicked, men are beasts, what the hell are you doing? And then he goes off and immediately someone's lustful. Eveldrick would love that.
He just had to wait a little bit longer, but he just didn't have the patience.
Awareness roll, Florence.
Alright. Success this time.
You hear a woman say Florence, and you assume it's Angarod because you're sleeping with her. And as you kind of rouse to, give me a recognize roll.
Alright. Any bonuses to this, or just straight recognize?
Yeah, +5. Okay.
Nope.
All you see is definitely a woman's visage, and there's kind of like a bit of a glow of the moonlight behind her, which makes it hard to see. It's more of her silhouette than anything else, I suppose. She says, I'm sorry, friend. It took me some time to reach you. These things require a rest. Are you okay?
Yes. I am doing well.
That's good. Is Edrich close?
No. Seems to have ridden off somewhere for some reason. He was acting quite odd.
Perhaps that's for the best. I'm here to tell you. The one you ride with, he looks to your eyes like Sir Edrich, but he is not.
That, unfortunately, makes a lot of sense. How can you be so sure?
My sight doesn't work the same as yours. Once more, I spoke to the real Edrich. He is being held captive, though I know not where or by whom.
Now that is concerning.
You kind of, at this point, you starting to hear and see, you can kind of, the light changes a bit, so you see the features of Lady Morgan.
I see. I thank you for this information, Lady Morgan. This is very, very good to know. I have to find him then. Find out what's happened to Edrich. It seems a hunt is afoot.
I do this for you, not for him.
I understand this. And I thank you. Even with all you feel, and I understand. He is still my friend.
You'll speak again one day.
And I am here should you ever need me. I swore my oath and I intend to keep it.
And then all of a sudden you feel like something on your face, and it's Angarod's like hand. You know, you kind of wake up and you realize you're like... Yeah. She just says, you were talking in your sleep, Florence.
I think then he just turns to the window to see there's nothing there. He just goes, just a dream. Don't worry about it. Go back to sleep.
All right.
I think with that, the next day he's going to prepare a hunt. Track down the false Edrich.
Okay.
Find out where he went.
We'll see where that goes. In the meantime, we're going to cut back to Perin the following day. You still are in the castle, Listinus. Anything you want to do as you wake up? A very different man.
I would like to speak to the lady, the queen of the castle.
All right. Very doable. You find her. She's out by the water, and it seems that the boy, her boy, is out on a small boat with two of the knights. The water is not nearly as deep as you envisioned previously, because these men are only up to about their waist in the water, and they're like 20 feet out. Very different depth than when you entered 2 steps in and drowned.
Yeah. As he makes his way up, I think he smiles in a way that feels a little bit more genuine than he has in years. And he goes,
there's something about this place.
She tilts her head.
I'd like to be honest with you, if that's all right.
I would prefer it. Quite so.
I gave you a false name when we first met. My real name is Perin. I am a mercenary knight, but I serve a larger purpose.
She scrunches her face, is trying to recall the name, and shakes her head.
I have at times in my life done bad things. Things I'm not proud of. Never out of malice. It always felt like the right thing at the time. But that conversation we had yesterday on the way to the castle about light coming to Britain, about kings and destiny and God. I have seen a future for this land. One that is better. Perhaps better than it's ever been. A future that's right. And I have pledged my life to foreseeing, to ensuring that that future comes to pass. I wanted to thank you for your hospitality.
She smiles.
This place has brought... Yeah, she gets it. She gets it.
No, continue. It might matter. So.
He goes, this place has brought me great clarity. And some measure of peace.
We've had very few guests over the years, Sir Perin, but many have called this a place of refuge. I'm glad that you found peace here as well. There's an old story. They say that Joseph of Arimathea came to these lands once, and he sought hospitality of, I suppose, my ancestor. He was so pleased with this place that he blessed it. I'd like to hope that perhaps this peace is what you found. Blessing.
Perin, reaches up and, tears off a necklace that he has, and he hands it to her. And he goes, now, I'm not, I haven't been someone who believed in... I haven't had faith for a long time in much more than the ways of the world and the magics in them, regardless of who they belong to. But should you or your family ever need help, place that into the lake. I have faith that I'll know, and I'll come.
She looks confused, but she nods. Your gift is generous, as is your vow. Perin, she says.
No, I think it's just. Nothing more. I thank you once more. Me and my men will be moving out by the end of the day.
She nods. All right. So as we move away from this scene, we have some decisions to make for Perin about how the hell to get home. And your home is very different than the other's home. So,
where was? Oh yeah, sorry.
You're up here somewhere in this region, and I want to be clear on somewhere because this region is not filled with roads and such, so it's very hard to
who
know.
Knows where the hell I am.
Yeah. You can head due east through the mountains. You'd certainly land somewhere closer to Rostock, so much lower than when you came across the mountain pass, which was way the hell back here.
Mm-hmm.
Right
Way up there, yeah.
Yeah. So you could cross back into Rostock, which is familiar lands, you got Pendragon and such, or you can head down through Hog the Mountains down into Cameliard, which is probably, fairly safe territory, and then back towards the Forest Sauvage from there. Or
let me double
plan
check.
C, anything you got a creative idea for. So
yeah, the boys. Where was their destination again?
The boys being,
Sword of Victory.
I believe they were heading home. Yeah, Salisbury.
Well, they were heading to Ebercombe first.
And then down into Salisbury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Down
what you'd know.
Belgium,
Yep, they were heading towards due for Salisbury, but they were making a pit stop. Did Percy even know about the pit stop though? I feel like he didn't, because he wrote
No,
it
he
down
did.
early.
Yeah,
No,
Percy,
he did.
Percy did know
Yeah.
about the mother stuff, but
Okay.
he probably
Because
doesn't know
originally-
where we are on that. Yeah, he was.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
doesn't know exactly where we are, but he knew where we were heading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So presumably, if you were looking to try and reach them sooner than later, your best bet would be probably Lambert Castle over here, which you've.
That's kind of what I was
Been to.
thinking. Yeah. I think passing through the Gales is it's a good opportunity to check what the political situation is there and what their use for mercenaries could be. You do some reconnaissance on the way and give a wide berth to make sure that we can catch Sword of Victory on their way southward. I think that absolutely tracks.
All right. Now we're gonna see what fucking curveballs happen, because Edrich just went mad. Evil Drick went mad.
Yeah.
I'm
Honestly,
gonna show up.
I was so looking forward to the kind of confrontation if I had played it cooler, but honestly, going into madness right before it, it's so delicious.
Honestly, it works out very well. It's very funny.
Okay, we're gonna get a hunting roll from Liam and from Mark.
All right.
I think we identified you both have a hunter, a scout.
Yeah.
So we'll give you both plus. Mark, you can have plus 10 because you're not entrenched in forest. Liam, you can get plus 5 for being entrenched in chaotic forest.
I'll take it.
Passion
Yes.
or no passion? Out of curiosity. Can we impassion or no? We cannot.
I think if
Because I
you
would
were
use
rolling
sword
your hunting, then yes. If you're rolling
Okay.
your plus, so in other words,
Oh, so I can either have the passion or the bonus. Passion bonus or the bonus I have now.
no, that doesn't make any sense actually.
Yeah, because then I would just take the one.
Yeah.
It's better.
They'd be the same, and one's less gambly.
No, actually, one would be worse because I wouldn't have a plus 10.
Yeah, I'd say if you take the charge, you can passion. Yeah, but it's your hunting skill, not the plus 5 bonus. So in other words, if you want to use exalted,
Oh
passion, you can do that.
no, I can't.
Okay.
Hospitality? No, that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, then just 5 then.
Welcome him back into the fold.
Is it just 5?
boys?
Might be mistaken, but I thought you said 10 because it's not in mountains.
Oh right, I did say 10.
Did
Yeah,
say 10.
yeah, you're right. Because you don't have the reason why Perin got 5 is because he's in a -5
Yeah, it's
forest basically.
up shit creek without a paddle.
You're on a main road or near a main road.
Ugh. Gotta be kidding me.
All right. I roll a d4.
See, if only I had my hunting dogs with me. 3.
Okay. Thomas, roll a d4.
Absolutely. I love D4s. 4.
Okay. Mark, roll hunting. This time it's just going to be flat.
Flat.
hmm
In that case, I would like to attempt to impassion myself.
Okay.
With loyalty, sword of victory.
Understood.
And this is all to save his friend. Critical!
Oh, baby, that's beautiful. That's
Okay.
cinematic.
All right. Plus 10. There, good sir.
Oh shit! You deleted him.
No,
We
it's
deleted
so
Thomas.
cinematic.
Yeah.
It's so cinematic that it kicked me out of the universe.
You
I was-
deleted him.
You deleted me.
Ooh, shit.
Sorry. What I meant to do was go to Glory Tracker and give you 17 glory.
That'd be great. With a 17, is that a plus 10 or is it still a plus 5?
That is a plus 10. You got a crit on
Alright.
something above a 15.
Okay. Let's go. Come on, dice. Give me something. Hey, success.
All right.
It would have been a crit without it, right?
Oh, you're right. Son of a. This game hates me.
It doesn't matter. It's a success is what you needed. So here's the thing. So Thomas went north. You went you tracked east. Then Thomas went west. And that's where you kind of decide to double back on your trail, and you find. So you're at the beginning of like basically the beginning of Edric's trail, heading opposite direction of where you want to go. Are you bringing your full force to try and track him down?
Yeah,
that
he'd
full
bring
force is also Edric's, including Cynstenian.
Oh yeah. What are you gonna do about that? Because
Yeah,
Cynstenian is
It's just yeah.
Yeah. So what are you explaining here? What's this look like?
Okay. Let's do honest versus deceitful.
Just so I'm following. So he started screaming at you after we saved the slaves. He ran God knows where. Now we're getting him back.
Okay.
That
Trusting plus 5 versus suspicious flat, Thomas. Is with Cynstenian.
Florence would tell the truth.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh shit.
Trusting plus 5 as suspicious flat, you said?
Yeah. Okay, so you don't know what you believe, but you especially don't believe this bullshit he's telling you about a fake Edrich. How do you want to take this? Now, what is?
So, how do you know this? Let's get...
A lady told me in a dream.
Okay. Now, assuming I believe you, it's probably a demon. Do you know which lady told you?
I do. I can't tell you who it was.
Right. Look, Edric's under a lot of stress, and while I'm certain he'll turn up, I'm not sure where he went, and he wouldn't abandon his post like this, but he's certainly not an imposter. You know Edric as well as I do. He's weird.
To be fair, Cynstenian, I have known him quite a long time, and he has never done anything like this before. This is an anathema to his character, and truly it is one of the greatest clues as to what has happened to him. Whether you believe me or not, I'm going to find him.
I will come with you to ensure that no harm is done. I do not believe that he is an imposter, for indeed, what foul magics could do that could not be borne away by our faith? We're going to help him, Sir Florence.
Of course.
And yeah!
Alright.
Cynstenian's like, I don't know what's up with him.
Yeah, I was secretly hoping Cynstenian was going to be like, I'm going to stay away from this.
He can't. He's got love family.
That's
he
fair.
loves his family. Like, as much as he is willing to say, you know, Edrich, he's strange.
No. In which case, Florence would
he's
have
gonna help
the
him.
forces with him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, we're gonna make a call here because it's gonna be well, first off, we got to see what state of Edrich, of Evil Drick, we're dealing with here. Thomas, I need you to make a 1d6 plus 5 roll for me.
Absolutely. I was not made for this earthly plane.
Okay, 10 to 7. Okay. Thomas, make a hunting roll and a d4, and then Mark a hunting roll. This is just a matter of time at this point, but we want to see whether Thomas is in madness or not when you find him. If Edrich.
Any bonuses?
No, not in this case.
Okay, so this is just flat.
Yeah, we're just counting down the days here. Okay, roll again for me, both of y'all.
This time I will. I'll roll honor. I imagine these passions I won't be able to use when I find him, so I'll be careful.
Well, I mean, it's a matter of days going past it, so you
is it?
should probably be able to. Yeah, that's why it's determining whether
Honor
or
is
not I'm in
success.
madness, which is a matter of days.
Okay.
Yeah.
You come
So that's
upon
plus
a small retinue of peddlers that have just been massacred on the side of the road.
12.
All right, never mind. We're taking him down.
Roll again, both of you.
Yeah,
Right
Florence is just like,
Right on, team.
you didn't believe me.
Failure on hunting.
Also a failure on hunting.
Okay. Roll again.
As bad as Florence is at finding his way, Edric's worse at finding a path.
Oh, close, but not of that.
Another
Man, we're
failure.
just
Should I
really
roll another
shit at
D4?
hunting.
Should I roll another D4, or should we just
Yeah,
keep rolling hunting until
another
something
d4. You're
happens?
close. We've only got 2 or 3 more sessions, or
What?
2 or 3 more things. Iterations. All right, 1. Okay. Hunting roll from each of you again. I'll roll the d4s from here just to save on time.
Nope.
I gotta go to Saxony. There's no extradition treaty, and I can kill whoever I want there. Failure on hunting.
Okay.
Failure on hunting.
If I kill everyone in Caerwent, I'll be a hero, but I don't want that.
All right. Roll a hunting roll again, guys.
Why is
Okay.
morality so hard?
Florence,
Oh,
please. Florence. Oh god, that's so close. I'm so far. Can you give him a +1?
Nope.
Can I give him a...
You pass through lands north of Abericum, lands you've gone through. You pass through the town of Eldaborough, and you see that there's smoke coming out of it. It looks like someone lit a bit of it on fire as they pass through.
In days of old, people would kneel down and worship me!
Okay. And Florence, as you're riding up the path, almost certain you're going to end up at this point back in Catterick, which was your last big stop.
Yeah.
You see Edrich standing or riding he's stopped on the road facing you as a lot of you ride in.
Think of
And
that. Florence.
for this, Thomas, I'm gonna get you to actually play Cynstenian at this point.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The moment the Lone Rider appears, Cynstenian's hand is on his blade.
Florence, grabbing his spear and pointing it forward, and goes, "Halt, foul demon! Your falsehoods will work no longer. We have seen through your disguise and find you lacking."
Fiend or not, you have killed many in the trail that we have come to chase you on. Lay down your weapons. If you bear my brother's face, I do not want to fight you, but I will.
Forgive me, brother, but I seem to have lost my way. I surrender to you.
So.
He throws his sword forward and says, please take me before the rock.
That we shall. Be
I think
ready.
with that, Florence is just going to ride closer, still holding his spear out and forward, and goes, where is Edrich being kept, demon? Where is my friend?
All will be revealed in Sarum.
I will be entirely honest, I don't think you're in a position to negotiate, says Cynstenian as he goes to bind his hands.
Perhaps not. But if you're right, and Edrich is taken, and I am a false Edrich, one ought to be concerned with his life.
There are only a few who are capable of such demonic acts. Perhaps those in Summerland might know more. Either way, if you intend to reveal his location, whether it be at the Rock or now, we may be able to guarantee your life.
It must be at the Rock. Very different him. Everything about him is different.
Yeah,
now.
very different.
Why should we trust your words, demon? You have proved yourself to be a liar from the beginning. How do we know this is not a deception?
I'd offer you my word, but I'm doubtful that would help. Simply to say that, though I might be your captive, your love for your friend does not lead you in a stronger position than I, for he too is captive. As you must have come to know. It was the witch, wasn't it? Lady Morgan.
You presume your deception was so perfect that it would not be noticed. In truth, I saw right through you. He lies.
I think actually, can I make an intrigue roll as Cynstenian to see how bad he should feel about knowing?
Never
Sure.
change, Florence. Never a day in your life, please.
Cynstenian's gonna take you at your word.
You're like,
I think with an intrigue check, he's like, okay.
oh,
Okay,
actually,
good. It wasn't just me.
let me roll deception because I think it'd be funny if I succeed this. Okay, but your intrigue's higher. That's fair.
I think Cynstenian says, why do you wish to go to the Rock? What do you gain from this? Now that your deception has been revealed for all to see, what was its purpose?
I'm willing to negotiate with the Countess. A ransom for the Marshal of Salisbury.
You and your master have taken my brother. For how long? How long have you worn his face? How long have you steered Salisbury? How long have you been with my family? With my niece and nephew?
It speaks a lot of your brother that no one could figure out that I was not he.
Wrath is a sin. Sir Florence, I remand him to your charge. I do not trust him with mine.
Very well. Know this, demon, I will not take my eyes off you till we appear before the Countess.
All right.
Know that I may be a merciful man, but sometimes justice must be given. I will see that justice is found, and you will pay for your crimes.
He smiles.
Sir Florence, I've only seen Edrich show fear in a few moments. One of which was at that strange castle. Perhaps they could know something. But to find it again, it would take too much time.
That would be a journey in its own right. For now, we return home. Then we decide what to do with this thing.
Okay. We are gonna move forward. Oh, go ahead.
That's right. And then we spend 10 days in Lambert Castle.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. We are gonna move you forward
I-
to Lambert Castle, though. However.
Indeed. I just love that the thing which made him insane was, oh god, they're infecting me with their niceness.
See, I expected Morgan at some point was going. Eventually, Mark was going to roll a d6 in any of those towns, which he didn't do till Winterbourne. What I didn't recognize is that Edrich was going to fail a passion and go
Exactly.
or fumble a passion and go mad.
Fully
That was a
off.
curveball. That was not the
Yeah.
plan. I apologize. I wanted to honor it. Though.
No, it wasn't.
It's very funny, though. By the way, Edrich may be evil and possessed, or someone may be wearing his face. It's like, no, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, in retrospect.
Okay. You guys are reach Lambert Castle. There's one point I want to talk about because I really wanted to get there, but I don't feel comfortable. You guys have still not talked to Duke Cornelius of Lindsay. We're gonna say that and there's no way, as noted, there's no good way through the Castle Lincoln or Linden Pool, as it were, without.
Maybe there was some kind of tunnel in Lincoln.
Some
Some sort of Lincoln tunnel.
Right. But we're gonna say, for lack of anything else, that the Duke was away when you guys arrived, so it was an uneventful journey through.
That fits. We wouldn't wait around for him.
Yeah.
Got other things to do.
Because he
We
is
could
only.
wait for this guy who doesn't particularly like us, or
And if you recall, he was the one thought dead and then returned from.
Yeah.
Once Wessex was claimed, he fled Wessex with one of the bigger hosts, and he's on that tier list, by the way.
Oh, that's good. I don't really care, though.
There's two Dukes of Logres, right? One is still on his deathbed, and the other one is Cornelius. So,
I almost forgot that Duke of Silchester is still on his deathbed for the past, 10 years.
Yep. 6, but yep. Not going good.
I've got to be honest. As much as politics normally entertains me, we've got to get home.
You guys
Can't be
reach.
with any of these people.
We gotta get out of here, man.
You guys reach Lambert. Perin. The first thing you notice when they arrive is that they're probably making it somewhat discreet, but they're riding with Edrich as if he's like a captive. Just the way they're surrounding him.
He's probably like on Florence's horse, and if you those keen of eye can see that they're like tied together.
Hail and well met. What's going on here?
Long story. But yes, hail and well met. Your knights have been very helpful in getting us this far. Those that
Well, they're
managed to survive with us.
well trained
Uh,
and well trained and
could
well
I-
equipped.
Could I say one thing as Evildrick? They have been misled and bewitched by foul magics, and they have turned on me.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind, it was worth a try. He goes back to looking up to the distance at that doubtful sound.
So,
Interesting.
long story short, Edrich has been captured.
Yes, I can see that.
By someone else. He's being
Unfortunately,
held by forces unknown, the ones who sent this doppelganger.
That's not Edrich.
It is not.
no.
We chased him for over a week. He slaughtered entire convoys. He burned villages.
And he still lives?
He knows
By
where
virtue,
he is.
indeed. By virtue of their knowledge.
Well, that is curious.
For now, they have demanded that they stand trial before the Countess, as they believe they have a ransom.
And you're going to withhold that?
As it is now, we have no information as to where Edrich is being held. Quite literally, the only one that knows is Elbows, the man sitting behind him.
I could get you that information. It would save us a trip. In fact, I imagine the only reason why Evildrick here wanted to make such a request is to stall. The longer we wait traveling all the way down to Salisbury and then coming back up to wherever that information lies, the less of a chance the real Edric has of getting rescued.
Do you have contacts with which to find the location? I had thoughts of speaking with those in Summerland who might know of some shape-changing magics, but I know no one there.
It's possible. If you'd like, me and my men can take over for watching Evildrick, and I'll send word when I can. I imagine I'll probably hear back from them as early as tomorrow morning.
I think it would be best to see what the Countess has to say on this matter.
Cynstenian's no fool and instantly clocks, right, gonna try to torture this guy. But he plays it cool and says, I concur with Sir Florence. We should see what can be done before we make moves that cannot be undone.
If you insist. Though, I will not overstate how much time I think would be wasted in doing such a thing.
I'm actually gonna make a quick roll for Cynstenian. Can I make a recognized roll? To try and recognize Perin.
Who is this guy?
Who the fuck is this dude? You know, it's just... A fuck?
He'd
Can I have a
recognize him.
modifier? He'd recognize him? Okay. I think Cynstenian at this point goes, but thank you very much. You do... What?
With that, Sir Florence goes, Cynstenian, meet Sir Percy.
What's
Charmed.
happening? Yes, nice to meet you.
I'm sure Edrich will explain once we find him.
If he still lives. Florence.
I know he does.
I could
I have
explain
been-
now.
I have been guaranteed that this is the case. We will need to talk more once. We can talk in more private area.
God grant me patience and strength.
A
Yes.
compromise, perhaps. And
Perhaps.
Perin will ride up a little closer to Evildrick and squint at him and go, "You know me, yes?
That I do.
You know Florence?
I know you all very well.
Then you know our word is good. Tell us where Edrich is now, and you have our word that you will see trial in Salisbury."
Do I know that, black dog?
You may doubt me, but you won't doubt Florence.
I gave my terms and they were accepted. I will go to the rock.
He's playing you, Florence. He either doesn't know the information, or he's trying to stall.
If I could
It is
give an explanation.
Speak,
That's
demon.
That's up to Florence.
If I tell you where he is, then you will have no reason to keep me alive and you will execute me. If I have a fair trial and ransom is given, I keep my life, as does your friend, your brother. He smiles at Cynstenian. Thus, I will go to the rock.
I think with that, Florence will look over to Sir Percy and will say, "We know not what exactly we are dealing with. I want to do what I can to ensure that Sir Edrich gets out of this unharmed. If that means being played, so be it. But I will not consign a friend to damnation."
I think you've always had trouble seeing the bigger picture, Florence. You and Cynstenian can take this thing back down to Salisbury. I will not be joining you. Instead, I'll be trying to put up in my own investigation. I'll
Very
find
well.
him.
I'm sure we will talk again soon.
For what it is worth, Sir Percy, thank you. I know that he is dear to you, and I mean, not that... Thank you, Sir Percy.
Florence may have given you his word, Worm. You have just ensured that I did not give mine. Good day.
And a good day to you as well. But yes,
I'll leave it-
Cynstenian just looks bewildered at Florence.
He's like, what is going on? Is that another doppelganger and we're just cool with this, or?
Yeah,
so
the whole thank you, I know he's dear to you was no, wait, no, if he's just a random person, then he wouldn't be dear. This would just be a nice thing that someone's doing. Okay.
I think Percy will leave a couple of men with you for security, until Salisbury, and once you hit Salisbury, they're going to come back up at North and join them.
No worries. Florence agrees to this.
All right. With that,
We don't have
guys.
to make a big thing about it, but Cynstenian's definitely going to be like for a long time.
You guys should have
Yeah.
a scene about it, I think, if we got
Yeah,
time.
honestly.
Oh,
So, Sir Florence, I know you to be an honorable man, and I hope indeed in me you can see someone you can trust. We have not fought together as much as, say, you and my brother, but I know you, and I know you to be a good man. Sir Perin died, right?
The way he tells it, yes.
Okay. Right.
It
That's
does
worse.
not make.
You know,
It
it's
does not
worse
make-
now that means he's come back.
It did not make sense to me either. But it is his choice and a choice that he has made. I could not convince him back if I wanted to. And I wanted to. But he made up his mind.
You and Edrich
The
both
least I
knew
can
that.
do to a friend is respect it. The least I can do to an old friend is respect the decision that they made. Their sacrifice. Whether or not I think it is necessary or needed.
I understand that matters are complicated, and I have not walked in the shoes of Sir Perin, but at the very least, he is a deserter. At the very least, he left his family, and that you and Edrich knew this, even back when you were sworn to Count Robert, the Lady Ellen. This is unusual. I understand it came from no place of malice, and indeed that it was done out of love. That is what the greatest things that mankind has accomplished is done out of love. But it's weird to have dropped on one. I'm surprised I didn't see him on the way up. So he's been alive the whole time.
I do apologize for that. And I'm afraid
Yeah,
I can't answer your questions.
I understand. You owe me no explanation. Normally I consider myself a decent operator when it comes to politics and keeping my cool, but this is beyond my ken. But my apologies for asking such questions, especially if an
No
oath
need
was given.
for apologies at all. You're a good man, Cynstenian. A righteous man.
The world is a stranger place indeed than I knew, and I knew it was a place filled with miracles and wonders, but so too the horrors.
Yes. Well, the three of us made a pact long ago. To see that this land be given a chance to grow anew. To be better. And we will honor it. Until our dying days, and if necessary, beyond.
It is a noble bond you have forged.
I
I
do
am
hope
somewhat
so.
jealous I have not done it with my peers. But yes.
I do hope you are right, Cynstenian. I do hope so.
Let us continue.
All right, folks, and with that, I think we'll wrap for the night. I think that's a good place to be. We will be away next week for Gentlemen of the List. So if you are a fan of the show and you like our Sunday stuff, come check that out. Different game, and then we're back the following week with a guest and with a resolution to Evildrick.
Yeah.
So we shall see where that goes. Let's go ahead and do some quick outros. We'll start with you, Thomas.
Hello, I am Thomas, and I have been Evildrick. I have also been Cynstenian the Blessed, who, despite being pretty religious, has been a standard knight, and is really weirded out about all of this. I have had a lot of fun as Evildrick, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and thank you, Bob, for running.
And Mark.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. I was just looking at our handy-dandy Discord. By the way, did you know of a Discord? Come check us out. Lots of fun stuff on there, such as memes and shit postings, notifications on whenever we go live, as well as other projects we are doing or are involved in. So please come join us. Link in the description of the YouTube video, and of course on the Twitch if you put exclamation mark Discord, I believe, or question mark Discord. One of those. I'm sure someone will do it by now. But yeah, I have been Mark, aka the Cat's Meow, playing Sir Florence of Idmiston and the Baron of Axe. And I've got a few other projects that I am working on that I will have more announcements for, such as Isle of the Damned. What if vampires in medieval society on an island in the middle of nowhere? Stay tuned for more details.
That's fair, that's fair. And we'll go to Liam next.
Hi, everybody. I'm Liam. I have played Sir Perin / Percy, the Black Dog, and I've had a wonderful time with it. I think this was it's been really fun playing this character and seeing the culmination of all the different changes since his first appearance. What a doozy. I look forward to seeing everybody watching the stream next week for Gentlemen of the List, and yeah, goodbye.
Awesome. And
I would like. I
Go
just
ahead.
want to give a special shout out to Rebecca, who tried so hard to get me an advantage, to get me out of the fumble that revealed Evil Drick. Thank you very much. But also, it was really funny how it turned out.
it's kind of funny, honestly. I liked it. We are gonna go to raid out tonight just because it's been a while and might as well. I'm Bob. I run this. I run a parallel game on Tuesday set in Summerland, and another parallel game in the Kingdom of Escavalon set on Fridays. If you like this, check us out any of these 3 days. That is what we do. Otherwise, stick around. We're gonna raid out to a channel called Roll for Trauma, which sounds amazing. So I like that. So let's give it a few secs here and we'll go and depart. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Farewell.
Bye.